And Pollster Frank Luntz is in Detroit this morning. Good to see you, my friend.
It's really cold here. It was actually colder than where we were a couple of weeks ago.
Well, you are a sweetheart to be doing this, standing outside. What are some of your favorite moments from last night? Let's look at some hot moments.
Well, to me, some of the best actually were Marco Rubio and Donald Trump. The fact that they could not answer a question without attacking each other. Little Marco, little Marco, little Marco. It sounds like a pizza chain rather than a presidential debate. I also like what Ted Cruz did last night, which is to challenge the other two that they were fighting when he asked the question of the audience, and they applauded for 29 seconds. Is this really what you want the American people to see? Is this really what we want these debates to be? But the winner last night was Governor John Kasich by staying out of the anger, staying out of the controversy. Only 3 people walked into our 25-person session supporting John Kasich. 18 of them felt that John Kasich won the debate.
So it really did have an impact. Do you think this is going to play out that way in the next couple of weeks going into these upcoming contests?
I'm not convinced of it. Let me be candid with you. Donald Trump hasn't won a single debate, and yet he continues to perform incredibly well in the polls. And I just don't think that Trump voters care about these debates. They respond to him in his speeches. They respond to him in interviews that he does on Fox News, not these debates.
So, Frank, I just wanted to ask, but I thought that there were some issues that he was weak on that are hardcore for his supporters. The H-1B visa issue where he said, I'm changing my opinion, and then puts out a statement this morning and he's changed back and he's harder again. About the New York Times, he has hammered the mainstream media. And he said, off the record, I honor off the record. It's sacred, if you will. I thought those don't hurt him, you think?
Well, here's the thing is that people aren't paying attention. I know this is going to sound like heresy, but they're actually not paying attention to the issues at this point because they feel they know where the candidates stand on the issues, paying attention to their persona, to how they carry themselves. Somebody needs to teach Donald Trump, don't take the bait. Every time Marco Rubio attacks you, just look at him and look away. You don't have to respond. But if you noticed, I felt like I was arguing with my cousins.
Yeah.
That I knew that every time I would poke them at Thanksgiving, they would throw food at me. Our parents would catch them, and they'd be the one who was punished.
Yeah, it's funny because Jack Otter was with us from Barron's this morning. He was watching with his third grader.
Third grader, yeah.
Okay, and what did your third grader say?
So Rubio attacks Trump and says, you know, you got the maturity of a third grader. And my son sat up and he said, I'm a third grader and I'm more mature than Donald Trump. And that's a true story, and I had trouble arguing with the kid. But to Frank's point, because Frank, I had a similar impression as the people you polled did in terms of Kasich's performance. I also think it probably won't resonate with the people. Does he have a chance? Is there any way he can take that message, hey, I've been a chief executive, I've balanced budgets, and then get people to actually vote on that argument?
So let me do the math for you. If Kasich wins Michigan, Ohio, and does well in several other industrial states, if Rubio can win Florida, which is a winner-take-all state, then you start to deny Trump the votes that he needs to win a majority, and then the possibility of a brokered convention comes in. But I have to be candid with you. At this point, I do think Kasich wins Ohio. I don't think at this point that Rubio wins Florida. And in fact, if you're a Florida voter, you're going to be seeing Marco Rubio a lot over the next 10 days, which is a hell of a lot better than Detroit, Michigan.
So it's too late is what you're saying, Frank. I mean, some of the attacks seem to be turning some people and sort of, as I put it earlier, taking the bloom off the rose a bit in terms of Donald Trump. But it's too late in the process, you're saying, to actually put a dent in his rise.
So let me be specific here. There are billionaires who are considering spending tens of millions of dollars in the next 10 days to try to influence this race. Not only are they too late, but they will actually hurt Trump and favor Hillary Clinton. If you wreck Donald Trump's reputation just before he gets the nomination, you then become responsible for electing Hillary Clinton president.
Wow.